for your feedback and comments for our previous podcast. And this week, Priyanka and I are back the third episode of Midway. And this week, we're going to speak about something which is very close to both of our hearts and something which we love discussing about with our friends, family, and pretty much anyone actually. And I know for a fact that Priyanka too, just like me, enjoys and loves talking about films. So, how excited are you for this podcast, Priyanka?
I am super excited for this podcast, and I love talking about films with all my friends, family, and Aditi and I spend a lot of time chatting on the weekends about films for a long time. To me, films they represent life, and they are very relatable and comforting, and they do not only inform, educate, and entertain, but also they have influenced me differently. And on today's episode, we have two lovely friends joining in. My friend and former boss, Gautam. He has been working as a journalist for about 9 years and has written a lot of articles about films. And we've spent a lot of time on our WhatsApp group discussing about films with our team. And I'm so glad we're collaborating for this podcast. Welcome, Gautam.
Hey Priyanka, good to be here.
Great. The second guest is a friend from my college, Rahul. He has been giving me fantastic movie and TV recommendations for about 4 years now, and he's currently pursuing a script writing course. Hi, Rahul.
Hi.
So, films are a topic that they're huge. They're like an ocean. We could go on talking about films, but today we've chosen Indian films. And Indian films, they are a huge source of entertainment. They are bombardment of fun actually. And some films you just watch n number of times, but you still don't get bored. So these classic rewatchables are really fantastic. And I have a couple of films that I rewatch several times and not get bored of. One is Panchatantram and the second is Padayappa. So I realized this when during the quarantine they screened Panchatantram on TV, and I could find that so many friends related to my feel, and they also had this as a rewatchable film for several reasons. So do you guys have films that you can rewatch like that? So let's start with Aditi. What film do you rewatch several times?
I also love Panchitantram, but apart from that, I love Tilmulu. It's something I grew up watching because my mother loves Rajinikanth, and it's such a simple movie. It's happy, it's hilarious, it's funny, and yeah, whenever I'm feeling low or something, I like to watch this movie. It just lifts my spirits up. And apart from that, I think Chak De India would be one of those movies which is super inspiring. And I love Shah Rukh. And this is a movie uh, about sports, and I just feel very happy when the girls win. So that's one movie which I really like, and even Bhag Milka Bhag actually for that matter. So yeah, these movies are something which I can watch over and over again, and I can never ever get bored of these movies.
Oh, I love Chak De India too. And what about you, Gautam? What is your favorite rewatchable film?
Hey, so I'm gonna pick something which I watched recently during the lockdown, which is actually Minnale.
Mhm.
Like most of people, from our generation, I'm a huge Gautam Menon fan as well. So I did a binge
Mhm.
of all his films, from Minnale to NNOK and all that. But Minnale was so much fun. I mean, it held up really well. It has this ridiculous plot of obviously Rima Sen not knowing he's her fiance without looking at
Yes.
a picture and all that. But despite
Mhm.
that, it's ridiculously charming. The music is fantastic, and it's so easy to watch. I mean, I think I watched the film easily like 10, 15 times over the years, and it even comes on I think Raj TV's most played
Yes.
film of all time and all. So I don't know why I like the film so much, but it's it might be a little far fetched, but it's still super easy to watch, and Madhav and Rima Sen make for great viewing. So yeah, that's my favorite film to rewatch. It really cheers me up.
They're a fantastic couple, right? They were lovely on screen. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a classic. How about you, Rahul? What's your favorite?
Okay. Actually, I have a lot of films that I rewatch constantly, but Trida Trida
Mhm.
and another one is Angamali Diaries. Yeah, Trida Trida by Maniratnam and Angamali Diaries by Lijo Jose Pellisheri. Uh, because Trida Trida is one film that I like I watched it when I was in my school days or something, and I completely fell in love with that film because it is a very great mixture of Western story. You know, this heist film was very new to Tamil film industry, and Maniratnam actually like he made a heist film happening in a village, and I thought that was a great combination and beautiful soundtracks, and you know, like I have so many reasons why I rewatched that film. I mean, but it's not a perfect film because it was a flop actually, I think, and it has its
Hmm.
problem. The whole Rasati character's side story was totally, you know, not needed, and it deviated from the main plot. But still, like that film is actually one film that I love from Maniratnam's filmography. And another one, Angamali Diaries, is yeah, that is also a great film. Like I watch Angamali Diaries for many reasons because not just for the story or something. I watch it when I'm hungry. You know, like the food scenes in Angamali Diaries are so good. You know, like when I most of the time I play Angamali Diaries when I'm eating because it gives that.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I have to add here that he's completely spot on about the food scenes. I mean, Lijo Jose's way of depicting the food in the film is incredible, and the porota mutton
Yeah.
and beef food scene la chance illa. It's outstanding. Yeah, completely agree.
இங்க ஏதாவது லைக் வீட்லயும் ஏதாவது அம்மா வந்துட்டு எனக்கு பெருசா பிடிக்காத ஏதாவது ஒரு டிஷ் செஞ்சாங்கன்னா நான் அதை போட்டுட்டு லைக் அதை பார்த்துட்டு ஒரு மாதிரி ஈஸியா சாப்பிட்றேன் நான். So,
That is
இப்ப
fantastic.
கூட பண்ணுவேன் நான் ஒரு
Great technique.
அந்த மாதிரி ஏதோ பண்ணிட்டு ஏதோ எனக்கு பிடிக்காத ஏதோ செஞ்சாங்க. ஸோ அதுக்காக லைக் ஃபுட் சீன்ஸ்க்காக பார்ப்பேன். அதே அப்புறம் சாங்ஸ் வந்துட்டு அமேசிங் சவுண்ட் ட்ராக் அந்த படத்துக்கும். ஐ திங்க் யார் பிரசாந்த் பிள்ளையா யாருன்னு தெரியல எனக்கு யார் பண்ணாங்கன்னு. அண்ட் அந்த லவ் ஸ்டோரி அந்த லிச்சின்ற கேரக்டர் அந்த ஒரு செகண்ட் ஹாஃப்ல வர அந்த ஒரு சின்ன லவ் ஸ்டோரி லைக் ஐ ஹேவ் சோ மெனி ரீசன்ஸ் வை ஐ வாட்ச் அங்கமாலி டைரிஸ் யூனோ அதான் யா
Right. So, but these films were like really well received. Actually, even Thiruda Thiruda was actually well received later. But some
யா
films, although they have like a brilliant story and a brilliant, artistic way they've taken it, or some films they've made for entertainment, but they've not really been well received, be it in the box office or with the critics or with the audiences. So there are several films like that in Indian cinema that are very underrated and could do with a little more appreciation and attention. So all of us are going to be discussing about our top picks of underrated films, and I'm going to go first with a Tamil film, Uttama Villain. So this Kamal film, I think, was really epic, and it missed many audiences. Like we missed watching it. It was such an intelligent film. At first, I was really shocked to see the negative reviews, but then again, art is very subjective, and what I liked about the film was the elements of surprise. Like it had a movie within the movie, and it was like 21st century and 8th century combination, and it brought about a theater feel. So I think we expected something, and we entered the theater. A lot of audiences expected something else, and when they received a different version of it, they were a little disappointed, I guess. But Kamal's performance, and I think pretty much the whole cast, they performed incredibly, and the lyrics and dialogues, which had multiple layers and meanings to it. So I think that is an epic film that we all missed. And some iconic scenes, like when MS Bhaskar and Kamal, uh, when they exchange their emotions, when he MS Bhaskar reads out the letters to him, and when he tells his son, Kamal tells his son about his health condition, all those emotional scenes, and the 8th century's episodes, they were all fantastic, and I really love the film, which I think is very underrated.
no actually I mean you're talking about Uttama Villain like I mean it's my favorite too but I think those period parts didn't really work for me. I love
Mm.
all these present things, you know, the conflict he has. You know, another beautiful scene is when his son and him are, you know, like conversing about his future, and he says he wants to write a
Yes.
script for him. That's a great
Mm.
scene, but the whole period setup was, you know, it didn't work for me at all. Like I thought it was
Okay.
lame. I don't know.
Mm,
I
mm,
agree with Rahul. The period scenes weren't great. I think I mean they were still really well shot, and Nasser being a part of them was, he was fantastic in that role. But
mm.
I think a lot of people didn't get that the film, that the present part of the film is a parody of Kamal's life itself in a way, right? I mean, I
Exactly.
think a lot of
Yeah.
people missed that. I remember I had gone to the US just a little bit after the film came out, and I was watching it with a bunch of friends there, and
Mm.
like my family and some older people, and they were like, why is Kamal making, and in the first 10 minutes of the film they were talking about, why is Kamal making these masala songs and why is he doing all this. Nobody
Right.
got the fact that he's kind of parodying the whole, a fading aging star trying to hold on to his fame.
Yes.
But that always happens with Kamal's films, right? He thinks audiences are really intelligent, and that's part of his downfall and his fame as well, always. So
Yes.
yeah, but I totally agree. I think Uttam Villain is criminally underrated, and I hope it becomes like Unbased even one day when people find it, rediscover it, and say it's a classic
Mm.
now because it deserves that. Yeah.
Right. And how about your underrated picks? Rahul, do you want to start?
Yeah. Okay. I'll say the first film would be Andaz Apna Apna.
Right.
Like I remember watching it
I
with
love
my
that movie.
mother. I remember watching it with my mother, and like at that, like I saw it school படிக்கும்போது நினைக்கிறேன். I felt it was very funny, and then my mother told me that this film was it didn't really work. It was a flop, and I didn't understand why it became a flop. But it has this whole cult
Cult
status. It
for
has
cult
gained this
for
cult
Right.
status in social network and everything. Like I
Mm.
recently saw this interview of I think the director is Rajkumar Santoshi, I guess. I'm not sure.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
Rajkumar
yeah.
Uh,
Santosh.
yeah, and he said that while making this film, like no one was getting along with each other. He said that Amir and Salman had this whole ego issue. Karishma Kapoor and
Yes.
Ravina Tandon were not getting along. The director was pissed at one of the heroines, and he said, and like they made a great film despite like not getting along with each other. That was very like, great thing. I don't know how they did that, and uh, this is I don't know if it's I mean, Sundarsi's first film, which is Ullathai Alita, I guess, I think. And
Okay.
he actually, like, I don't know if it was a remake or, he stole some of the scenes, I don't know, but like, it has major, major scenes were taken from Anda Sapna Apna, and that film was a big hit in Tamil. So I
Okay.
think Anda Sapna Apna deserve more love. And yeah,
Right. I mean that was a simple story, right? Like, and they were all innocent actors at that
yeah,
point, and I can't believe, like, I was reading up about Andaz Apna Apna sometime back. They said it took 3 years to make the film, and Salman's hairstyle kept changing throughout the film, and most of the dialogues were also, they were like improvised on the set. So that's a
yeah.
brilliant thing, right? It's a like a simple story, and it really worked. But it could have, like, done better with the
Mm,
audiences.
yeah.
Even Paresh Rawal in that movie is very nice. I actually like him. Uh, he's the whole movie as such is. I think it's just a
So
happy
funny
movie
and
to watch. Yeah,
yeah,
I know exactly. You don't like you don't have to think so much that it's a simple movie. You can watch it with your family, and the same thing happened with my mother. My mother also really likes this movie, but when we were like younger, it used to come on TV. So yeah, I didn't know. I couldn't imagine that it would have been a flop. I got to
yeah.
know like 2 3 years back only.
I haven't seen
So
Anda Sapna Apna, but I've seen Ullatte Alita, and I'm a big Sundarsi fan. So I will. I resent any implication that he copied the film. Adnala, I'm going to stick to Sundarsi, Varian army, and support him. Yeah.
yeah, I
I
mean,
will-
I don't
I'm
know.
not.
I don't know
I'm
if he
not going to
copied
watch
or if.
Anda Sapna Apna as a mark of my support for Sundarsi because of this.
Right.
So okay, the next film would be Rocket Singh,
Ah,
Ranbir
Oh,
Kapoor's film.
brilliant
I
nice.
film.
think it's a great film. I I don't know like why it didn't really work out. Even Ranbir Kapoor said like he doesn't know why it didn't work out. He thought it is going to be his Munna boy or something. He said, and I think it's a great film. The film Shimit Amin. He made
Yeah.
Chak De India actually.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know where he just made 2 3 films and now I don't know. The story is very so new and you don't really see stories about the salesman and things happening in a big office. You don't get to see these kinds of stories being told. And like many people, I think many people thought that it was a very slow and not a commercial kind of a film. But I totally disagree. In the second half of the film actually becomes so interesting and it has a very great story to actually tell. And I really love the film. I love Ranveer's character. He's so innocent, yet he is. He wants to like become a great salesman or an owner. He does everything and I love that film. I think it needs to it still needs to find its audience.
No, I really found that very relatable. It's such an underrated film. I really loved it, and I loved Ranbir's performance. I basically love how Ranbir picks his films. I am very surprised that it didn't become a huge hit because I found it very relatable. Did you find any resemblance or contrast with any other Ranbir films? Because
If you see Ranbir's filmography, I would say that he has played this like man child characters for too long, and I
Mm.
thought he should stop doing that. And but I'm not saying Rocket Singh's characters like that.
I think in some interview, someone said, I don't know who, Ranbir is 37 years old and he's still doing coming of age movies.
Yeah,
He, yeah, like he has to grow up.
I think it's because
So,
these. I was
he
going
should
to
he
add.
should,
I
he should
think the
stop doing that
magical
character.
characters really work, right? Because I think those kind of movies really relate to people, these days, because a lot of people, millennials, are man childs. That's why Karthik dials at the end, Simbu. That's why that thing still worked, because I think a lot of people don't get over their exes, or still are kind of stuck in a weird space between being a teenager and growing up. Those kind of coming of age movies really work. And Ranveer is he's a great actor, despite what you say about him and all. He's obviously a really good actor. He might not have picked the best films or best characters, but I love Ranveer's skills as an actor to pull off these kind of roles. Um,
mm,
I actually think there
that
should be more man-child characters in Tamil cinema and all, because I think those films will work really well. And it's films which will be enjoyed by the people here. So yeah, that's why.
that was so deep actually. Analysis of the society. I didn't expect that, but
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay,
Even Rockets is a good movie. Definitely.
great movie. Yeah, good movie.
yeah. Okay, the last film is Kidari by Prasad
Ah,
Murugesan. I think I didn't see that film when it came on theaters. I thought Sasikma was doing this average films, and I thought this is going to be another average film, and I didn't want to watch. Then after some time, I saw it on Sun TV, and it was really good. Basically it's hooked on it, and it starts like that, and the characters are shown who has motivation to the attempt to kill the gangster person, and the film actually works really well. And the climax is I thought it was very satisfying for me. I really love the twist they pulled off in the climax, and like it I don't know. I mean, I think it kind of worked for some people, but many like in Chennai, like I mean in the city uh, places, like no one knew about that film. That's what I felt. I don't know, like if
Yeah,
if
I
it's an
didn't know.
underrated film.
That's why it's underrated. Maybe I didn't know about this until you told me now. I had no idea. Like after you told me, I'm just like trying to find it out on Wikipedia. I'm trying to read the plot.
Yeah, you should watch that film. It's a really good film.
It is so underrated that it doesn't even have a like the
Wikipedia page.
synopsis on Wikipedia.
Oh,
right.
So we should definitely watch it.
Hey, okay. So my favorite two underrated films are so one is Kadalam Kadanthu Pogum, which is directed by Nalan Kumarasamy, starring Vijay Sethupathi and Madonna Sebastian.
Mm.
So I think the film came out I think 4 to 5 years ago. Recently, we did a story on. I'm a journalist. We wrote a story on our favorite films of the decade. From 2010 to 20, and I actually ended up picking Kadalam Kadanthu Pogum. It's a remake of a Korean film, but I thought about the last 10 years and which film kind of, so, it's a slice of life film, right? Which is very rare in Tamil cinema where nothing really happens, but it's super enjoyable to watch. The plot is almost non-existent. Basically, rendu pair they meet in a building and she wants to get a job and he wants to be a bar owner. That's the basic synopsis of the film. There's no real love story or major conflict which happens in the film, but it's just a series of happenings which are so well shot and acted out and which play out with so much of charm that I mean I think I watched the film thrice so far, and every time I found something new to love about it.
Mm.
And I like it so much because it's so rare in Tamil cinema to see a film where there is no either it has to be about ஒரு பயங்கரமான ஒரு மாஸ் மசாலா சப்ஜெக்ட், இல்லைன்னா it will be one huge conflict and moral science lesson மாதிரி போகும், இல்ல you have some really deep topic like a Parirum Perumal or Aruvi or whatever, where they kind of try to bring forth the understanding of the topic. But this film is about nothing, but it's still so enjoyable.
Mm.
And whenever people talk about Vijay Sethupathi, they think about films like Super Deluxe and 96 and all that. But people, I think, forget this completely. And it's actually Nalan's last film. He's not made a film since then. And the படம் ஒழுங்கா ஓடலைன்ட்டு பாவம் அந்த மனுஷனுக்கு I think he lost interest to make films also. It's been four, and he's actually I think one of the most talented filmmakers in Hollywood today. I don't know why he's not writing anything new. I think he was a consultant on Super Deluxe, but he hasn't done anything else since then.
Mm.
And even Madonna's character, right? I mean, a lot of it I think I've forgotten the film because even I had forgotten it since I watched it. I watched it recently during the lockdown, and her character is super progressive. We keep talking about progressive Tamil heroines in with Nayanthara or Trisha or all these films they make,
Mm.
but Madonna's character in Kaka Kapoor is so progressive. She, in fact, Vijay Sethupath's character doesn't even come into the film until 20 minutes after the film starts.
Right.
She's the hero of the film in that sense. The film is about her. She goes out of her village to come to Chennai and find a job. She deals with sexual harassment. She deals with living in a place like Chennai and dealing with this rowdy neighbor next door. There's a lot of interesting things about Madonna's character which I think people missed when they remember iconic heroines played by modern day actresses and all.
Mm.
And the songs are beautiful. The score is fantastic by Santosh Narayan, and the way it ends also, right? It's not a conventional ending where they they happily get together. You don't even know if they get together towards the end.
Yes.
So yeah, that is one of my favorite underrated films. I keep telling everybody to rewatch it to
Really get it,
to see if they like it.
sense of it. Yeah.
It's actually a great film for an OTT platform. Like now that we're discussing the new normal of cinema where theaters are going to be bypassed, I think Kaka Kapoor is a perfect OTT watch. It's a great film to be watched at home with you by yourself or with friends, and you will love it so much more. It's like a very Western Hollywood film in that sense.
Right.
A very indie drama. Yeah.
No, I do
Yeah, I
agree
think
with how
Vijay Sethupathi in
yeah.
Vijay Sethupathi in Kakakapo and Vijay Sethupathi in Andavan Katla is his most underrated
Yeah,
performance. Two
absolutely. That is
performances.
a great example.
Yes, and it's a lot about Yarini than like Vijay Sethupathi. I agree with you, and it's a lot more about Madonna Sebastian's arc. It's a she has delivered really well in the film, so I do agree that
Hmm.
it's an underrated watch. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And even the supporting cast, right? Like he has one ஒரு friend மாதிரி, like ஒரு he mentors another rowdy மாதிரி, அவன் கூட இருக்கிற அந்த bromance, அந்த யாழ்னியோட parents,
Mm.
the other supporting characters, they're all really really small slice of life characters which you'll see in your life everywhere, and they're all so good in the film.
Mm.
Um, I mean, if anybody is taking me seriously in this podcast, listening to this, please rewatch the film. I think it'll resonate with you guys a lot more on a rewatch. Yeah.
But were you
Anyway,
shocked
so that
when it received negative feedback or negative reviews?
it did receive negative reviews, but nobody really like took it seriously. They were like, okay, ஒரு சின்ன படம் வந்துட்டு போயிடுச்சு. Like அவ்வளவுதான், like I said, no. If you think of Vijay Sethupathiy's best films, nobody mentions this film.
Yes.
Uh, People just forgot that இந்த மாதிரி படம் வந்துச்சுன்னே யாருக்கும் பெருசா ஞாபகம் இல்ல.
Mm.
So it's just dismissed as an okay film. Whereas something like Maya the Man, which is again not a same story, but in a very similar sensibility, right? It's about a slice of life film. It did well because it came out 3-4 years later when people were more kind of into this kind of cinema. I think if Kakakapo came now, or even Andaman Katlai, like Rahul said, they would be super hits. They would be like Netflix would promote them saying #1 in India. That's how well they'd be received.
Right.
So yeah, that's one of my picks. The other pick I want to talk about is Kapoor and Sons, because we have discussed only in Tamil films mostly so far.
Mm.
Kapoor and Sons was not, again, wasn't a negatively received, or it was actually it did well.
Really well in box
But I think
office.
yeah, it did really well in box office, but I don't think it features on. Again, it's not a very. It's not something people remember when you think of Siddharth Malhotra or Fawad Khan or Alia Bhatt, right? You think of much bigger and huger box office films and all.
Yes.
Or when you think of romances or dramas of Hindi cinema in the last 10 years, they remember more bigger films. But I think this was a perfect movie for me in so many ways, except the ending where things get a little hurried and hassled. It was like one of those perfect family romance dramas, and it's I mean, for me it's a very Hollywood film in that concept where a lot of progressive things happen and everybody is I mean, I hope this is not a spoiler, but there is a gay character in the film. There's people talk openly about sexuality and relationships and all that.
Mhm.
And the acting is incredible, be it Ratna Pathak or Fawad or anyone else. They're absolutely superb. My only problem with the film was that it's set in Ooty and everybody talks in Hindi in Ooty, which is ridiculous. I'm in Coimbatore where I go to Ooty all the time, and that was a little unsettling. But yeah, otherwise it's great. And my favorite character in the film is actually Alia. Everybody talks about, again, films like Razi and all, but Alia is so good in this film, even that small role.
Mhm.
If you see the way she kind of talks to both the brothers in different ways, and how a character is flirts with them in different ways, the way she kind of enunciates words, smiles, I mean, there's so much of complexity to the character, which I think people again missed. Even I missed when the film first came out. And yeah, it's just it's there's so many layers of the film also, which I think is very rare for a Hindi film, for an Indian film to have. So yeah, that's one of my underrated films, which I think deserves a lot more praise. Nobody thinks of it as a classic or a film to remember, but I absolutely do.
I definitely. Yeah, Rahul, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I really had no hopes after watching the trailer of Kapoor and Sons, because I remember watching the trailer and I thought, okay, this is not going to be a good film, because I didn't know who Fawad Khan was, and I was not a Siddharth Malhotra. I don't really think he's talented, and I thought, okay, this is not going to be a good film. But I was surprised after watching the film, and I became a big fan of Fawad Khan, and it is so unfortunate that he couldn't pursue
It's really
his
unfortunate. Yeah.
No,
yeah, but
definitely. It's one of my favorite movies. I also like, Alia's house help, Kishore, that I really liked all the scenes Alia had with him. And for some, it was very adorable. And I can totally imagine stuff like this happening. So I think for me, that's the main reason I like movies. Like if I can imagine that really happening, or the characters are relatable. So that's like a masterpiece actually. I think uh, usually Karan Johar receives like a lot of criticism that his movies are over the top. Many of them are, but I think this they produced, and then we should give
Yeah,
totally give credit.
Shakun Batra made the film, but it was a Dharma production,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Dharma
film.
Productions. Yeah.
It also has my favorite, I think, house party song in Indian cinema, that Kargai Tul is beautifully shot. Like, everything happens so organically. That party song set in Ooty where he meets Alia. It's a great example of how a song can be woven into a plot and made right. Everybody's dancing, but they're dancing organically. Nobody's doing rehearsed steps. They're playing games. They're doing some drinking games. There are people, I don't know, like flirting and on the verge of hooking up and all, which is what happens in a party, right? It's not like suddenly 10 people go out and get drenched in the rain. So I love the way they shot that song. Also, it's one of my favorite songs to watch when I'm at a party or when I'm with friends.
Yeah, that song is also pretty good, but I think that's the song which came in the trailer and Rahul judged the movie.
Well, as long as you liked it eventually, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm happy that the film is, it's actually good.
I found it heartwarming. How about your choices, Aditi? What is your underrated pick?
I think my underrated movie is Trapped. I'm not sure how many of you have watched it. I really
I'm,
like.
I'm-
I watched it. I love the film.
Yeah, it's a great film.
I love Rajkumar Rao, so I tried like barring a few films. Many of his films are like most of his films are really nice, and it's like by Anurag Kashyap as well. So Anurag, I really loved it. I like it because the very few dialogues. It's a short movie. I think it must be like 1 hour 40 minutes or 15 minutes, I guess maximum. Um, and it was interesting because there's one scene in that movie where it questions being a vegetarian. So in a very unique way, it was in a
Yeah.
very different way, and I think that was one of my favorite movies. I won't give it away, and I think that that's the reason why I like the movie so much, and it's not it's a very uh, it's a very nice watch because I've never seen something like that in Indian cinema. I've not watched so too many movies, so I don't know. But Andamari, it's a good movie. It's a different movie, I would say, and without any dialogues and all that, and how a person would react if they are in a tall building stuck with no way out. So that's something really interesting, and yeah, I think everyone should watch it. I don't have specific reasons as to why I like it, but I just liked it because it was very different for me. And there is
Aditya, you should watch Ade also to see how a
uh,
person would react when stuck in a tall building.
Mm.
yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Please
No,
don't
no,
watch
no.
the film. Ade is terrible.
I did watch it
You'll hate
recently.
it.
Uh,
Oh god.
yeah, it was very nice, but I feel Trapped was the what they were trying to get at was pretty different, right, from Ade.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
yeah.
And
Oh,
the
yeah.
fact that, yeah, it was shot in less than a month, and it's a complete one-man show. I think very few actors can pull off that one-man show kind of thing. And you're right. It questions certain beliefs, and it is a simple story with complex questions about humans and how they behave. Like the point that really made me like the film was like it impacts you. At a moment I felt claustrophobic, like as if I was stuck. So what would I be doing? That kind of feel a very few Indian films have given me, and that's why I think Trap really is underrated. So we definitely all should really appreciate the film.
Yeah, totally. And the director Vikramaditya Motwane, he's actually all his films are about kind of loneliness in a way. Take it. You take Udan or Lotera, or even Bhavesh Joshi and all.
Mm.
All his films have that underlying theme of the main hero struggling to cope with some kind of loneliness. But of course, in this film, it's epitomized by the story itself. But yeah, and of course, Rajkumar Rao is incredible in this. So.
Yes, I'm Team Rajkumar Rao. But I noticed that how you and Rahul say that give importance to the maker of the film. I think that's something usually which I miss. I mean, when I talk with my friends, none of us say, okay, this movie by the director or the writer's name. So that was something really different that I noticed. I
That's
think,
why we call experts on board to
yeah.
talk about their
Okay.
field.
I don't think I'm definitely not an expert by any stretch of imagination. Rahul is actually a screenwriter, so he might be. I definitely not me.
Right.
No, I
It's
think it's
nice to
because
be called.
we both. I think I mean Rahul is of course learning script writing, and I also try to write with some friends. So I think we understand how much value a writer and director, especially the writer, brings on board to the project. Right, like it's pretty much 70% of the film is in the writing. Even a badly acted film can be saved by the writing, but a badly scripted film can't be saved by even Kamal Hassan and Al Pacino. That's what I think I've learned over the years.
Wow, that was well said actually. Hmm.
No, that's really true because I mean, you see it with Gautam Menon films. He had when he had good writers, when he wrote good films, the films were good. Now he has terrible writers, and you see what is happening to him. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's the most important part of the process.
Definitely. And one more movie which I like, this movie was quite popular, but I feel that more people should watch it because it's so good. I really like Sudani from Nigeria. So I think it's a Malayalam movie, and it is about this Nigerian uh, who is in Kerala for playing for a football team, because a lot of these students from Africa, they come to India because they get paid for playing in clubs here, and because like poverty is rampant there, and that is something which was really nice, because I think even Gautam mentioned that small characters, these small roles are also very important. Many movies, they ignore the side characters and use extras terribly, and when even extras are used properly, it's really, it takes a movie to a next level. So I think that was very nice. It was very heartwarming, the mother's character, and I felt like for me it was a feel good movie. It was something you can, again, it's the same as what I sorry, it is the same as what I said about Kapoor and Sons. You can actually relate to it, and yeah, everyone should definitely watch it. I think it's there on Netflix. Sudani from Nigeria is one movie which I think everybody should watch. It is like a piece of your heart. Some scenes are really like very heartwarming, especially uh, the mother's character is very. I think her name is Savitri. Uh, she has acted really well.
Yeah, the moment you picked a Shobin Shahar film, I'm on board. I think he's the.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to pick one actor for the last 10 years who's completely changed the way I think I view South Indian cinema. I mean, a lot of people obviously pick Vijay Sethupathi and Fahad Fasil as two, of the stand as the main actors who stand out from the last decade. But I think it's Shobin Shahar. This guy he's something else, right? Like
Yes.
every film of his is something to take away from it, and even though he's not the star of the film here, it's a Nigerian. I don't remember his name.
Samuel
I
Robinson.
don't know if he's actually, huh? Samuel Robinson, correct? Yeah, but it's about football, and which is my favorite topic, and it has Shobin Shahar in it, so it's pretty much a win-win from there itself. And like you said, it made incredible use of its supporting cast. The film has a great redemption arc, and yeah, it's a total masterpiece. One of my favorite Mallu films from the last 10-15 years.
Yeah, films like this, like Malayalam films are getting so important. More than that, they represent the culture and
Yeah.
the people very well. Other
Yeah.
than the industry, I feel Malayalam films are doing that so good. And like he mentioned, Saubin Shahir is a great talented person. Yeah, I totally agree. He is, he made Parava, right? His
Yeah.
only film I think he directed. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a great film, and yeah, each and every film are about a place and the people living in that area, and it's so nice to see when a film is about not only about the story, when it's about the people and their lifestyle. It's so interesting. Like Tamil cinema used to make those kinds of films, like Subramaniapuram or
Mm,
Parthi Veeran, like had those type of. storytelling. But I don't know what happened. But now I don't think many films like that are being made here.
No, and
And
recently I watched this film, called Varane Avshamunda, which was
yeah,
Dulquer's film, and it's set in Chennai. And I actually wrote about it that the film depicts modern kind of urban Chennai. So the film is very, like in a sense, a very posh film, right? It's set in very fancy upper class kind of apartment and all. But
yeah,
I loved it so much because I mean, being in Chennai, I mean, I've been in Chennai for 10 years, so I couldn't think of any other Tamil film in the last 10-15 years which has depicted urban Chennai so well. I don't understand how Malayalam films do it. Like just like Rahul said, capturing the culture and the ethos of a particular group of people and where they live and how they kind of think. That adds so much to a film, right? And that doesn't happen
yeah,
with just dialogues or looks. It happens with setting the scene, the way the place looks, and yeah, Tamil directors need to learn from these guys how to do it. Be it Kumbalangi Nights or Angamali Diaries or these
yeah,
films, all depict the you feel like you want to go there and be a part of the place just for that. So
yeah,
Main thing is, I think one thing I've noticed, these characters look very real. That's something I really like about Malayalam cinema. They look very real. You can go to any village and you can find people like this. But many Tamil movies, it's like இந்த மாதிரி ரோட்லலாம் போனா அந்த மாதிரி like you
hmm.
don't see people like that. It's like over the top. Many things are like really over the top. So that is something really nice about Malayalam cinema.
See, the biggest problem is that in Tamil cinema, films are made for stars, and in Malayalam cinema, films are made for scripts. That's the biggest difference. While there are obviously filmmakers in Tamil who are obviously trying to change this, the fact that a film like Bigil or Viswasam or whatever will definitely make 200 crores more than even a great small film. Like I don't know, like Kazam Kadanda Pogum is testimony to the fact that that is not going to change anytime soon. You will never see even a forget Vijay or Ajit. You will never see even the second tier of actors. You take, I don't know, maybe Vikram Prabhu or Arya or Vishal Avangale. They won't make such kind of can you imagine seeing them in a film like Angamali or Sudani? Probably not, because they want to make money and they want to be an action star. So that's a huge problem we have in Tamil, and it's not changing anytime soon.
Definitely, totally agree.
Yeah.
Right, so that was a really fantastic session. Thank you, Gautam and Rahul, for joining and giving your insight. It's really opened our minds. I don't know about Aditi, but it's given me a lot of perspective, right? What do you think, Aditi?
No, definitely. I was telling, right? So the way they talk about why they like a film and how I talk probably is like so different because also I personally feel that I think I spoke to Rahul about it quite some time back about like script writing and how to write a script. So when you read it and I was trying to read some scripts and compared to when I watch movies now, it does change things. So I feel like their perspective has added a lot of value to the way
This,
we look at films, the way we analyze films, I would say.
absolutely. And we had like a very limited time, and we have just picked the top films that just like came across on our mind. And there might be several other underrated films that the listeners might have, so you guys can comment or tell us about the underrated picks that you have or you think that deserve more attention. You can let us know in our DMs or comment section. So thank you so much, Gautam and Rahul, and thank you to the listeners as well.
thank
Thanks,
you,
Thank
guys.
you,
thank you.
Thank you, Priyanka. Aditi. This was really good fun. I've listened to both your previous podcasts, and I'm looking forward to the next ones as well. I think it's cool that you're doing this.
Um,
Also, thank you for including me.
Thank you, guys. That's about
All
it.
right,
Just like always,
bye.
please like this video if you love watching movies as well, and see you next week. Bye.